Good afternoon, guys. Thank you for joining me for Business Taxes and Insurance Depot. So today we're going to talk about one of the easier um, business credit cards that you can get. That's if you have good credit. So by good credit, I mean anything over 700. This is one of the cards that I really like a lot. It has a lot of good benefits for business owners who are using their credit cards either to buy a lot of inventory, purchase a lot of marketing, or just using their own checking account to purchase a lot of goods, etc. It's a good card, and the reason behind that is that it has 2% back on all your purchases. So that's really good. A lot of cards say that 2% back, but they also limit it a lot to a lot of different things with different categories. With this one, there's no limit. So whatever you're buying, that's going to give you 2% back. I especially like that for our business, and the reason behind that is that we buy a lot of inventory, so a lot of money is coming in and out every week. If we can get 2% back, on that inventory on a yearly basis, we save a ton of money. So just think about it. They have an example down here. If you spend about $100,000 in a year, so this is your in sorry your if you spend $100,000 per month in an annual basis, you'll save about $24,000. Now the beauty about that is that that's non-taxable right there. And most of us, if you're ramping up your business or you're starting your business, eventually you're gonna get there. $100,000 spending every month will seem a thing of the past. So that's definitely something that you definitely want to take advantage of as much as possible. As well, another thing to take advantage of is that the rewards points, they don't expire. So that's going to be a super plus. So if you don't need to use your points for whatever reason, you just want to set them there, and then eventually maybe on a holiday, etc., you want to cash them in, that's going to be a plus. Another reason that I like it is that you get a personal banker. One thing about if you have traditional banking is that a lot of the times you have to call either the branch, you have to go in, and you have to talk to someone about your problem. A banker's a bit more personalized. They get to the issue right away. They care a little more. Also, they have a lot more power in decision making, whether they can talk to the branch manager, the regional manager, and they can just get done the things that you need to get done a lot quicker. Another thing that I like about it is also you can make virtual cards for your employees. So a lot of times when you have more than one, two employees, you're not gonna be paying for everything, right? You gotta give them some leeway. Maybe you put a couple $1,000 on their card. Maybe they can buy supplies for the office, snacks for the office, towels, etc., right? Because you can't do it all, right? You can, but it's gonna drag you down a lot of the time. So it's usually in your best interest, give them a card, put a couple $1,000 on it, add some restrictions to it, and that way they can use it. So I think that is a huge, huge benefit that a lot of cards don't have. They don't allow it to you make virtual cards so you can make and delete these. So if you find an employee that, they just don't handle them well, you can just stop it, cancel it for them, and etc. So those are a lot of the benefits when it comes to this card. You should get these cash bonuses if you use, over what's it called $500, $5,000 in the first 3 months. Sorry, so that's nice. And most of us who are running a business, $5,000 is nothing. You're all spending that either on marketing or whether that's purchasing inventory or paying for services, etc. So it's something that can easily be done. I'm gonna go over kind of the negative things that a lot of people aren't, they're not used to. So a lot of these business cards that people are gonna get, they aren't like your traditional banking cards. So banking card, for example, say you have a limit of 20,000, you spent five and you paid back four. Well, you'll have some interest on that 1,000 that's left over. Unlike traditional credit cards for your personal use, these have to be paid in full every month. So you use it and you pay it back every month. So that's a little bit different, and it's kind of a negative, I would say, because sometimes, whether vendors are paying you back or you're waiting for a customer to pay you, etc., that can be a little bit of a strain, I would say, for this card. But honestly, for all the benefits that it's giving you, I mean, instead of using your own checking, your own debit, just use this instead, and you're gonna get 2% back on everything that you have. Besides that, the only negative thing besides that I can find is just the fees on the second year. Um, but to but all the benefits that you're gonna get from it, from getting 2% back, I mean, you'll pay that off just with the points that they give you for spending using this card. So I would generally, this would be kind of like, I would use it as quote unquote the debit card, even though it's not a debit, obviously, and just ramp that up on everything, whether that's gas, whether that's paying for, marketing, paying for pretty much everything that you possibly can, because getting that 2% back is going to be huge. And at the end of the year, you can either use that to, go on a vacation. You can give that back to the employees as a, kind of a thank you for everything that you guys have done for us, etc. So it is a great card to have. It's easy to get. And one thing I highly recommend is that if you have a relationship with Capital One on the personal side, it's going to become a little bit easier for you to get the card, right? So let's say your credit isn't all the way there, but you already have a good relationship with them, it's going to be a little bit easier that way to get this card. So that's all I have, guys, for one of the easiest credit cards to get. What I'm going to do next is going to go into a card that's a little bit easier if you have bad credit. Now, one thing I'd highly recommend is that you start fixing your credit if you do have bad credit. It is extremely harmful when you're getting business credit cards, because they're always going to be looking at your personal side to see how you handle your money. So if you want to start fixing your credit as soon as possible, that way you can start getting some of the better credit cards, right? This is just kind of an entry level good credit card to get for a business. Next, I'm going to go over, some of the easier credit cards to get that you don't have to have perfect credit for. Okay. So thank you guys for again joining me for Business Tax and Insurance Depot. I'll see you in the next video.